Risky behavior.
The views and opinions expressed on this channel are solely those of the host and guest and are intended for entertainment and discussion purposes only. This channel does not promote bias, hatred, or discrimination of any kind. All questions posed and thoughts shared are part of a critical thinking exercise and are not meant to offend or judge any individual or group. We encourage respectful dialogue and love for all. Please remember to think critically and engage thoughtfully. We aim to foster a positive and inclusive community where everyone feels welcome. Thank you for being a part of Risky Behavior ENT.
Risky behavior.
What's up? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about a predator in plain sight, the Alexis Von Yates case. I want to welcome you all back to Risky Behavior ENT, where we don't just tell stories, we challenge the narratives behind them. Today's episode is going to make some people uncomfortable, and that's exactly why I'm doing it. Because when a woman sexually abuses a teenage boy, the headlines soften, the outrage dims, and the victim, he's often told he should feel lucky. But this isn't a fantasy, it's a felony. This is the case of Alexis Von Yates, a Florida nurse, a mother, a convicted sex offender who was caught in the act with her 15-year-old stepson. We're going to break down what happened, why it matters, and how the double standard around female predators is creating more victims in silence. And what really made me want to do this is because this case has been happening alongside the P. Diddy trial, right? But it seems to be more outrage toward Diddy because he's a man and less towards her because she is a woman. Okay. And they both were just recently sentenced. So I was like, let's go back over everything that has happened and give our final thoughts on what we think about this. Okay. Because P. Diddy was also sentenced and people feel like he didn't get enough time. But I think there seems to be more outrage against him because this woman only got 2 years. 2 years for, she had sex with her 15-year-old stepson. Like, what the what? Seriously? It's crazy to me. Yo, what's up? I got my boy, the Prince of Petty, in the building. Let me know if you want to come up, brother. And I will say, see if that link is the same one from yesterday. It should be. I don't think it would change again. Okay. Let me change that background if I give somebody a headache. All right. There we go. Okay. I got you, man. I'm gonna be here, man. I just got started, brother. So yeah. All right. So, like I was saying, this case has been going on the same way with the P. Diddy case. It seems to be more outraged over P. Diddy. I think it's because he's a man. I think we tend to be a little bit more lenient when it comes to women and the crimes that they commit. And I feel like it's a double standard, and that's what I want to talk about today. Now, this case of Alexis Von Yates starkly exposes the double standard in how society and the justice system treats female sex offenders compared to male ones. Now, when a woman sexually abuses a teenage boy, the narrative often shifts from criminality to curiosity, with the headlines softening, the language and public outrage muted. But the data doesn't lie. According to the U.S. Sentencing Commission, 93.6% of sexual abuse offenders are men, and 99.5% of them are sentenced to prison, with an average sentence of 211 months. In contrast, female offenders are statistically more likely to receive lighter sentences, probation, or community control, community service, even for similar crimes. Now, is this because I get it? if you say statistically there's more man sexual offenders, is the justice system about getting justice for the victim? Or does it just go, well, you know what? Y'all are usually not the criminals, so we'll just let you off. Right now, a 2024 analysis by McGrath Training Solutions confirms that gender bias in sentencing leads to shorter prison terms and more lenient outcomes for women, reflecting deep-rooted societal myths that women are inherently nurturing and incapable of predatory behavior. This bias not only distorts justice, it silences male victims and perpetuates cycles of abuse, which is funny. You know what? When I said that reflecting deep-rooted societal myths, that's from the patriarchy, which is crazy to me when women say they want to get rid of it. But I know what they mean. They don't really want to get rid of it all the way. They, of course, want to keep the good parts. Okay. Let me blow this up. All right. I think that's blown up enough. Let me see. What's up, King Mike? Oh, you said show photo of her. Let me scroll down. That's her right there. That's her. She was a nurse and she was stripped of all that. Florida woman caught by her husband sexually abusing his underage son gets new punishment added to jail time. She was sentenced in September, and they added some punishment to her jail time. It was like making her pay fees, financial stuff, you know. All right, we can get started. Prince is here. What up, bro?
Hey, what's going on, man? What's up? What's up, bro? I was catching what you were saying, bro, and yeah, bro, the courts are really lenient when it comes to women with a lot of these things, bro. And like I said, I had to make a dispatch call, so I missed some of what you were saying, but I'll be a little controversial. I think the 50 months with Diddy, I think that's fine. That's 5.5 years. Because remember, they dropped off the charges that would have gave him life.
Yeah,
So I think that 5.5 years is fine. That's cool. The 2 years for her, that's trash.
it's
She should be,
diabolical.
yes, that is definitely diabolical. She should be doing at least 10. At least.
I I want people to think about this too. And shout out, it's a podcast that I listen to. Anybody go look it up. It's called Betrayal. And I listen to it on Apple Podcasts, but I'm pretty sure it's on Spotify and other streaming services. And on Betrayal, you have women who are telling their story about how they caught their husbands with CP, or as it's called now, because you know children cannot consent to these things, so we have to stop calling it after adult names. It's CSAM, child sexual abuse material. And these guys were caught with this on their phones, on their computers, and they were turned in by their wives. They just had they had the material on them, and they were getting like 2 years. How could the person actually engaging in the behavior, how could they get a more lenient sentence than those people? I'm not now, I think those people caught with that material should get more time. But if you say that they only have to get 2 years, but then a woman comes along and is actually doing it, how does she only get 2 years? I don't get it.
Exactly. Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? I think they all should get more time. But I'm confused as to how somebody actually doing the crime versus looking at the crime gets more leniency. I don't understand that. It's just a double standard. I don't think there's
The
no way around it.
courts, the courts have a blatant gender bias. Remember that court case that I told you about where the young lady xed out her infant and she put makeup all over the child's body, trying to cover it up as if there wasn't going to be an autopsy. And they
Yeah.
gave her a plea, and they gave this broad a plea deal, and she only did a fraction of the time that she was supposed to have gotten, with the rest of it being probation. So she
Yeah.
got out. She X'd out her kid, did a fraction of the time, got probation, and was still young enough to be able to procreate and make another kid. Let that sink in.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's a clear double standard. And and I want to be clear. I'm not saying that I want the man to get less time. No, I just want you to bring the woman
Gotta be
up to the same
fair.
standard as the man. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
all.
it needs to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Bring her on up, adjust her time and how she's seen, adjust it up to the man. Don't bring the man down to the woman, but just bring the woman up to the man. That's all.
Yeah, if they doing the same crime, they need to be doing the same amount of time. Period.
Let me see. Well, this happened back in 2024 on July 26th in Ocala, Florida. Alexis Von Yates was watching a horror movie with her 15-year-old stepson. Her husband was at work. Her younger children were asleep. According to the arrest affidavit, she made sexual comments, told the boy she was horny, and then initiated sexual contact. Her husband came home early and caught them on the couch. Now, I got a video I want to play that's going to be interesting, but I'm going to read this article first because because this double standard affects everyone, even the man, the women, the victim, the predator. It affects everybody, right? So here goes from the Independent. Florida woman caught by her husband sexually abusing her underage son gets new punishment added to jail time. This one came out October 3rd this year. Um Let me pause. That's her. Okay. Ugh, disgusting.
Damn, she could have at least been attractive.
You know what? When they take them filters and that makeup off, you see who
Woo
they really
woo.
are. But
Oh yes.
if you look at her pictures that she posts, you're like, okay, she could be kind of like a little hot mom or something. But nah, not really. Not really.
Hey, take that makeup off. It's a done deal.
Yeah. Oh man. And I'm telling you, this was all going on the same time as Diddy, man. And the double standards are crazy. And you know what's funny? What I thought about? I thought of two double standards, and I did want to do another video. It's so much stuff ran through my head at the same time because it also reminded me of the pastor Eddie Long, very popular pastor of a mega church in Atlanta, in Georgia, and he was accused and being investigated for messing around with the young boys in his congregation. And I remember people making jokes about this. What's so funny is I watched the interview of Dear Hughley talking about Charlie Kirk and how insensitive the things he said was. And it reminded me of the things he said that if a 15-year-old, a 16-year-old still sleeping around with this grown man, he made a joke on stage saying, "Oh, I guess you got a boyfriend now." I just thought that was crazy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I just thought that was crazy. Special shouts out to my homie, my brother, Mr. Marcus Banks in the building, man. What's up, brother?
What up? What up?
What's up, Tammy? Tammy, how you doing? How you doing? Yeah, this story is wild. Yeah. Marcus Banks says yes. When they take that stuff off, they are ugly as hell. Okay. So a Florida woman was jailed for sexually abusing her 15-year-old stepson has been given further punishment. Alexis Von Yates was convicted earlier this year of lewd and lascivious battery on a child aged 12 to 16. A second degree felony in a plea deal. So she got a plea deal, of course. Not surprised. Matter of fact, I think the lewd or lascivious I think that's part of the plea. I think it was knocked down. I think that's why that's that. The 35-year-old's husband came home from work and found her sexually abusing his son on the sofa as they watched a horror movie. An arrest affidavit said in September, Von Yates was sentenced to 2 years jail, but now it has emerged she also has to pay more than $1,000 in fines. That was the punishment they added, y'all. Not time. Court records show that on 24th of September, a judge added financial penalties to her sentence, requiring her to cover court costs and contribute to victim support funds. These included over $150 to a rape crisis program and over $150 to a child advocacy program, as well as other fines and court costs. Von Yates has allegedly told the boy she was horny. This is what she said to a little boy. She said horny. As they
That's
watched
crazy.
the movie at their Ocala home on July the 26th in 2024, the affidavit said her own 2 younger children were already in bed. Now, the teen victim later told police that Von Yates had been making sexual jokes for about a week leading up to the abuse, which left him distressed and unable to eat. So she was hunting him down in that house, like cornering him. He couldn't eat. And this goes to the whole when they say, oh, a young boy, oh man, you lucky, because they want to over sexualize these young boys. This boy said he couldn't eat. Why do people assume that young boys want to be taken advantage of?
It's that over sexualization.
Yeah.
I be seeing a lot of people on Facebook and Instagram. A lot of them. The first thing come out their mouth is when a lot of the teachers go down for that. A lot of the men's first thing they say is, "Oh, we didn't have teachers like that when I was in school." Like, really, bro? like, that's the first thing you think of?
Yeah, we have respectful women. Like Paul Mooney said in one joke, he said, man, what's wrong with these damn teachers? He said, when I was growing up, the teacher wanted an apple. That's it. Just an apple. Help her pass out these papers. Now she wants your body. It's ridiculous. Von Yates lost her job and nursing license soon after her arrest, as well as her prison sentence. She must complete 2 years of community control and 10 years probation as a registered sex offender. Does that mean she gets to come off?
Yes.
And no longer has to register? While if she was a guy, she would have to do that forever.
Yes. If that was a dude, she would be a lifetime. She would be a lifetime offender. Yes. If that was a guy.
Wow. I rest my case. Wow.
Yep.
Shout out to Marcus says, had that been a man, he would have received more jail time than imaginable. The fine would have been through the roof. Man, Mr. Marcus, I don't think they would have bothered finding him.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been no fine because he wouldn't have gotten out in order to pay it. He wouldn't have gotten out. So there wouldn't have been a fine.
I'm telling you. Oh my gosh. And so she just gets to move somewhere else, perhaps, and just start her life over. She don't have to worry about that stuff no more.
Basically.
And I already know she's proven that she's a danger, but they're gearing her up to be able to get custody back with her kids and all that stuff. She gonna get it. Okay. At Von Yates' sentencing hearing, the victim's mother called her an incestuous pedophile for grooming and violating her son. According to Court TV, the anguished mother addresses Von Yates directly, calling her a coward for showing no remorse for her despicable actions. She also told the court her son's father had not spoken to him since the incident. The father is another issue. Now, why wouldn't he not be speaking to his son? You know, my first initial thought was, man, I can't believe I put my child in that situation. How could I ever face him again? How could I
You
look him in his
can't.
eyes and tell him that I love him? But considering the actions of the father in the family, I think that's this whole societal double standard that's going around. I think in some weird way he views his son as competition, and it brought out insecurity in him because the nurse Von Yates says, oh, the son reminded her of the father, her husband, when he was younger. And so I think the father kind of became jealous of the son.
That makes sense because we see it all the time with the women.
Yep. And I'm gonna and I wanted to read this first because I'm gonna play the video and it's gonna talk about the family and them trying to keep it quiet and all that. Von Yates had initially been charged with sexual battery by a person in familiar authority, but accepted a plea deal that significantly reduced her prison time. The deal allowed her to plead no contest to lesser charges of lewd and lascivious battery last month. And mind you, if the father walked in and caught her, and then the son is there and he said stuff, you know what they do? They, oh well, you know, we didn't want to make him a victim again, so we offered a plea deal. They could have easily won this case and gave her the time she deserved. But they rather go in there and give her a plea deal and give her less time. Her 2 years in state prison will be followed by 2 years of community control and an alternative to incarceration available only to felons in Florida. It is similar to a house arrest, allowing offenders to live at home and travel to only agreed upon locations, usually including work or school. She was also ordered to have no contact with the victim. Mm. All right. Let me bring up this video. Shout out to the Law and Crime Network is where I get all my juicy stories from.
Yeah, this is definitely juicy right here because this really exposes the legal system.
Yeah. And you're right, Mr. Marcus said the teachers nowadays are not that older than the kids that are teaching. And of course, I know he was talking about he said, I mean, high school, 10th, 11th, 12th grade, the teachers nowadays are 24 to 28. Yeah, it's a weird thing now. The teachers are not that far from, let me see. They're not
Yeah,
far
they're
from
not.
the
Yeah, they're not teachers young as hell these days. I don't see how they do it.
all right, here we go. But you see how like the double standard can leak into with the father. I because the way he behaved, well, you know what, we cover a lot of stories, so I'm just speaking in general, right? If it was the opposite way around, I don't think people act the same way. If it was a younger girl and a stepfather, I don't see the same behavior. I just thought the way this father acted to me, I was like, wow, it seems like he sees his son as competition versus he see his son as a victim. All right. Here we go.
We first told you about Alexis Von Yates a few weeks ago. She's the 35-year-old whose husband walked in on her allegedly having sex with her stepson when she thought he was going to be at work. Remember this story? The incident reportedly happened last summer when the 15-year-old was apparently spending time with his father in Ocala, Florida over the summer break. He typically lives with his mother in Washington, D.C. And it wasn't until later that he confided to his mom about what allegedly happened. So what does she do? She calls in a tip to Ocala police. Now, Yates was arrested in November, initially charged with lewd or lascivious battery on a child aged 12 to 16, but prosecutors upgraded that charge to sexual battery on a person 12 to 17 years.
And I hope y'all caught that. Why would the mom have to call in a tip if the father walked in on them?
I was just about to say that. I was just about to go ahead. I was just about to say that.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, like that's crazy. Here's my thing. I'm not advocating violence, but why weren't the police called, period, to a woman getting her ass whooped in the front yard? Because if I'd have came home and saw something like that, that's exactly what would have been the first police call.
Amen. We would have had some furniture moving.
What they say,
So,
yeah, remember, Bernie, about to be some furniture moving in this motherfucker. About to be
yeah, some furniture would have been moving up and up, bro. Some heads would have been bust. Some windows probably would have been busted out somewhere. The police would have been called immediately.
I'm talking about sofa on the roof, lamps in the front yard, bed sheets on the bushes. Come
So
on.
like that kind of raises the question, truthfully, is the father mad at the son because does the father feel like that could have been something that could have been aired out behind closed doors, but the son told the biological mom and got the police involved? Maybe is the father upset because this went further than what the father wanted it to go?
I don't know what the father was thinking. It's weird. I think it's just. I'll put it to you like this. I remember I had a homeboy that caught his wife cheating on him, and instead of leaving, he fought for her up until the point where he followed her one time to the guy's house and a gun was drawn and he was almost shot, and the gun actually went off by his head. The guy was trying to shoot him in his head, and I was like, man, why you didn't just leave her? Why was you fighting for her, following her around, trying to keep her? And he said, bro, most people don't want to lose. People know they should leave a situation, know they should get rid of the person. They just don't want to lose. And I think
Right, exactly.
that father just did not want to lose. But I'm
Right,
confused as to why he would feel that way about his son, because that's not a loss. That's a predator that you need to have locked up. Your son is not some guy she met at a bar for you to feel that way, like, I don't want to lose. Let me handle this behind closed doors and keep it a secret.
right. She may be a predator, but yet and still acknowledging that same logic, he's losing. He's losing. I guess he may still feel like he's losing the woman he worked hard to gain. Maybe. I'm just trying to.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to put some type of thought processes into the situation, because we both can agree. We both have already agreed that if we walk into the house and see our woman smashing our son, she's more than likely about to get her ass whooped. There's no pass and go collecting $200. You're more than likely about to get your ass whooped.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, but for but for that to stay quiet long enough to where the son can make it home to the biological mother being on the hush, and then he tells the bio mom, and the bio mom gets involved and calls the police. Now all of a sudden you no longer talk to your son. So that then raises questions. So now are you upset that your son went and told, and now the police are involved? Is that why you're mad? I think that's why he's mad.
What's up, Eric? And another reason too why he might not have talked to the son is the mom might be refusing to let him talk to the son too. Is another thing I thought about. If if he says mom, dad walked in on me having sex with his wife, and she's like, what did he say? And the son says, well, they were trying to get me to cover it up.
Well, that can be a possibility too. But how old the little dude? How old they said he was? 15.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he has his own cell phone. So unless they have a restraining order or something like that barring him from talking to him, I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll probably mention that at some point in this video, whether or not something like that exists. Unless they have some type of restraining order in place, I'm pretty sure at 15 he has his own cell phone. Nothing can stop him from talking to his dad.
Yeah. We'll see. That's, mm.
By a person in familial authority. So Yates' arrest affidavit included graphic details that the teen apparently shared with a forensic interviewer. And according to the alleged victim, his father was working overnight as a lineman, and after his younger half siblings went to bed, he and Yates stayed up late playing video games, watching movies, and apparently also using Yates' marijuana vape pen. According to the arrest affidavit, quote, the suspect and child victim kissed. As the suspect began escalating, the suspect said, man, I wish you were 18 because you're not old enough. Now, despite this alleged statement, the teen victim told the interviewer that he performed oral sex on Yates, and this escalated with the two then having sex. The interviewer noted that the way the teen described the acts were consistent with someone who actually experienced all this rather than someone, just telling a story that they've heard.
So she was also giving him weed too. And then they start, kissing and rubbing. She's like, I wish you were 18. Huh. They had a date night?
See,
Playing
that's
video
why I
games,
couldn't be.
watching movies, and
See, that's why I couldn't be a prosecutor, because I would I would charge you with everything in the book that I can. You're giving them minor drugs. That's a
exactly.
charge. That's a
Yeah.
charge.
And is she even supposed to be in possession of that? That's another
Exactly.
charge.
That's another charge.
She kissed him and then had him go down on her. What the? This sick. Oh.
And he also apparently told the interviewer what allegedly happened in the aftermath. He claims that his father told him to pack his things up, go stay at his grandparents' home. And as he was packing, he claims he overheard Yates telling his father that she was sorry and that the child victim looks like his father when he was younger. So just take that for a second, how disturbing those allegations are. But according to the teen, multiple family members discouraged him from talking to the police or disclosing what happened to his mom. His aunt also allegedly told him that Yates had been telling people that he manipulated her into having sex. So when police arrested Yates in November, according to the affidavit, quote, Yates advised she did not wish to speak with me without a lawyer present, but made several unprovoked statements about believing that since the Department of Children and Families had closed their case, she was in the clear, saying the incident was so accusatory, attempting to put blame on the child victim. Yates was released on a $10,000 bond, and since then, there have been several motions that were filed in the case, and attorneys from both sides have conducted depositions, and this includes one that was done by the defense via Zoom with the alleged victim. So a hearing was recently held to determine whether the boy's statements made in the weeks and months after the assault could in fact be heard by a jury at Yates' upcoming trial. The judge released an order this week allowing that testimony to come in. So to talk about why the court was so concerned about these statements and the reasoning behind the decision, I want to bring in retired Judge Elizabeth Scherer, who, as many of you know, oversaw the case of the Parkland school shooter in Florida, is now in private practice with Conrad and Scherer. Judge, so good to see you. Thanks so much for coming back here on Sidebar. It's been a minute. It's really, really good to see you. First of all, this is one of the craziest stories and most disturbing stories that we've covered on Sidebar, at least in recent memory. What's just your initial reaction when you hear something like this?
I mean, you don't hear it as often when it involves a child victim being a male and the accuser being a female. You more often hear about the accuser being accused being a male and the victim being a female. So it's sort of not your ordinary set of circumstances, but also the way that it unfolded and the excuses that she gave, like, oh, he seduced me and all these kinds of things. We're talking about a 15-year-old child here who was left in your care and custody. As an adult, you're supposed to look after these children, and research shows that actually boys' minds develop even slower than girls' minds. So oftentimes
I
it's
knew they was
boys,
gonna bring that up.
there's
It was just a matter of time.
a ton of psychological testing and research that's been done.
What'd you say?
I knew they was gonna bring that up. It was just a matter of time. Boys' minds mature slower. I'm so tired of that. Despite it being true, nonetheless, I'm just tired of hearing it.
Oh,
Try to make us out to be
yeah.
retarded.
Oh, that's crazy. Yo, Tammy, you said you wanted me to play the interviews. Huh? I'm gonna look it up.
To show that boys are actually less mature than girls at this age of 15 years old, and that they don't in fact mature until they're in their mid-20s. So this was a child. He may be built like a man, he may have the stature and the ability to do things like a man, but he's a child. And this is a crime, and one that everyone should take very seriously.
Hey, so we know that you guys are true crime fans, but are you also in a business of some kind? If so, I want to tell you real quick about our sponsor, Odoo. So Odoo is a powerful all-in-one business software that helps you manage everything from sales to accounting and, yes, inventory. Their inventory dashboard makes it easy to track receipts, delivery orders, POS orders, and you can see what's waiting, late, or back ordered all at a glance. You pay for receipts, you automate vendor reminders, and schedule deliveries all in just a few clicks. Plus, you get full warehouse management, the ability to set picking strategies.
You know what's crazy, and it's just a side note. When I was looking up all this other stuff, I saw a post, and the title read, "Stepmom gets caught having sex with the family dog on video." I was like, I'm not even clicking on that. But that's just one of the things that I came across.
Yeah, that's kind of disgusting right there. That was like one of those side note type things right there. We did not we did not need that information.
Look, I'm telling you, man.
But
I'm
look,
telling
peep
you,
game
man.
though. You know what's sitting in my notification bar literally right now?
What?
Because it's crazy you did this. It's crazy you chose this to do this live on. This lady smashed her stepson, and I follow a lot of predator catchers. I follow a lot of child predator catchers. And this dude named Jadion, I'm pretty sure you heard of him. He got millions of subscribers. He just recently caught a child predator who M-worded, R-worded his stepdaughter.
What?
The sheer irony.
It's getting crazy, man. I know you be having all that stuff, man, though. Because you said you subscribe to it.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I love to see these people get exactly what they deserve. And say, bro, they got this dude. He's from Long Island. Matter of fact, I'll tell you, shit, we on YouTube. His YouTube channel is Predator Poachers Long Island. He went live last night, and in the midst of him catching a child predator, the police showed up, and they was on they were right outside the guy's residence. They pulled up at the dude's house. The dude tried to run inside. The police chased him, and they literally tased this dude in his living room. It was sad because I felt sorry for the kids, but bro, you out here doing the things that you doing. Then you try to run. In the first place, you thought the run was back into your house, where your own kids are, where your own kids are, for the police to just do you how they did you, as if nothing was gonna happen. Come on, be for real, bro. So like, I got pity, I got sympathy for your children who had to see that, but I have zero sympathy for you being a predator. Like none, zero.
Yeah, we was talking about that one time too, though, like where they were saying, like, I guess they were trying to compare those people to like vigilantes, and like we had to be, they didn't want them doing some of the work that they was doing, but I disagree.
Yeah, absolutely. I disagree. When they out here doing a better job than the actual police,
Yeah,
you kind of can't argue with it.
people fail to realize it's even been a lot of murder investigations where the police and the detectives just wasn't doing their job, and you have families that put their money together and hired private investigators and people like that actually were able to bring the people to justice and
Right,
provide closure
right,
to the family. So you can't get rid of people like that.
right.
Plus, people like that don't care anyway, man. They accept the consequences. They believe that much in what they're doing that they don't care. You tell them to stop all you want.
If they believe in what they're doing is right, and if it brings in some form of justice, keep at it. They got another guy. He just recently got his last arrest in all 50 states. If that's not God's work, I don't know what is.
Yeah. Yo, Tammy, I didn't see any other interviews. They might have wiped it. I mean, I been searching and looking. I can't see it. Yeah, I don't.
I hope they didn't wipe it because I would love to hear some more context from that. Because if there was any other context from that, we need to hear it because it would be it would be flat out diabolical if something. And I'm not trying to justify anything, but just trying to throw a scenario out there. It would be completely diabolical to hear an interview and like she come out and say, the dude was the size of the father and he actually R-worded her or something like that. Like that would be crazy.
Yeah. Man, I'm just now catching on. Mr. Marcus said, we don't want that sidebar risky. He talking about with the lady and the dog.
Yeah,
I was
lady and
dead,
dog. Yeah, I saw
dead
that.
serious, man. I swear I saw that, man. I was like, what? Oh man. Now, in the aftermath, the boy was emotionally distressed. He couldn't eat. He told investigators that Von Yates had been making sexual jokes for a week leading up to the incident, but the family pressured him to stay silent. Von Yates wasn't arrested until November the 6th, 2024, over 3 months later. You can go over this article and see if it got anything new. This is from Ocala News. Marion mom pleads no contest to sexual battery. A stepson awaiting sentence. Marion County stepmother accused of having sex with a teenage stepson has pled no contest to a charge of lewd and lascivious battery of a minor just over a year after she was caught in the act by the boy's father. I don't know why they keep saying caught by the boy's father as if he's the one turned them in. Turned her in or alerted anybody. Alexis Von Yates offered a plea of no low contender or no contest in her case. The Fifth Judicial Circuit Court of Marion County on Thursday, August the 21st. She will be sentenced in the case at 8 a.m. on September the 16th, just over 13 and a half months after she was caught by her husband while she was having sex with her stepson. In the weeks after the incident, the victim, who was 15 years old at the time, was pressured by family members not to divulge details to authorities. Accordingly, Yates was not arrested until several months later on November the 6th, 2024. OcalaNews.com first reported the arrest on December the 5th, 2024. 5 days after that report, Yates pled not guilty to the charge. Let's see. In February, the trial was delayed to allow Yates' attorneys more time to build their client's defense. In April, a digital forensic examiner who works for Marion County Sheriff's Office was deposed by Yates' legal team. Deposed. I said disposed. Deposed by Yates' legal team. Later that month, the Florida Department of Health issued an emergency order to suspend Yates' nursing license. That was followed by a formal administrative complaint filed by the state seeking an order to permanently revoke Yates' license at a later date. In May, the testimony of the victim was deemed admissible by the court, and last month, they're saying last month because when this article came out, a relative and potential witness came forward to indicate that she had not been properly noticed for her deposition in the case. The docket shows a subsequent notice of taking deposition was filed shortly after that letter was received by the court. According to state law, a charge of lewd and lascivious battery on a person 12 to 16 years of age by someone in familial custody is a second-degree felony that is punishable by up to 15 years in prison and a $10,000 fine and a lifetime registration on the state sexual offenders list. On the state sexual offenders list, which how she get 2 years and then she comes off of it at the 10 years. Then that shows clear leniency.
She didn't even get a fraction of that. 2 out of 15. That's not even a fraction.
That is insane. How?
Gender bias. That's that gender bias.
Double standards. I got another video from Law and Crime, and I couldn't find it. Hopefully what Tammy had mentioned earlier is somewhere in here.
Well, look, before you play that, I got questions.
Yeah.
While you was reading that, what information do you think the family didn't want the son to give law enforcement?
They didn't want him to tell what happened at all. And that's why in this video I'm about to play is the father when the police come to talk to him after the mother issued the complaint. The father denies that anything happened.
So I was right. So the father just wanted to keep that on the hush and keep that within the family.
I agree when you said that earlier. I'm saying that's the why he did it. Yeah, but I agree. He definitely wanted to keep it on the hush.
And my last question, what do you think her defense was?
What they were saying earlier when they were trying to treat the boy as if he was a liar and if we should allow his testimony in court. And part of that is the father, which is you let your son, like you let somebody disrespect your son. Like that's crazy to me. That side of the family that's just crazy to me. It's like they were backing her up. So when she's trying to paint the picture that he took advantage of her, his father and that side of the family was apparently like backing it up. I cannot believe that. That's insane.
Wild. That's crazy. That's crazy.
You taking up for the person that's a predator. You taking up for the person that cheated on you, that lied to you and stuff. I mean, that's crazy over your own flesh and blood. And a child.
As a father, I would be the one. I would be the one on trial before my son for unsubscribing from life. This woman, like I would be the one on trial. She wouldn't have made it.
Yeah.
She wouldn't have even made it to handcuffs.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Like I would never throw my son under the bus like that. That is crazy.
Yep. Her full sentence is 2 years in state prison, 2 years of community control, house arrest, 10 years of probation under sex offender supervision. Sometimes they're saying that she still gets the lifetime registration as a sex offender. I don't know.
The 10 years probation under sex offender supervision. I think that means she just can't live within a certain. I think that means she just can't live within a certain distance of a school or something like that.
I'm willing to bet she'll find a way to get off of that. I'm willing to bet she's gonna find a way to get from up under that. I have no faith that she's gonna stay on that list.
Not for no 10 years. Yeah, she'll probably find a way out of that. Not for 10 years. If they gave her 2 out of a 15-year possible sentence, and she got a 10-year probation, yeah, she'll probably find a way out of that.
All right, before I play this video, I do want to say there's no excuse for what happened, but understanding motive helps us prevent future abuse. Von Yates was reportedly unhappy in her marriage. Whatever. Whoop-de-doo. She had access to a stepson while her husband worked. She used her authority and familiarity to groom him, making sexual jokes, escalating physical contact, and exploiting his vulnerability. This wasn't a moment of weakness. It was a pattern. And we also must take note. When you're 15 as a boy, your hormones is raging. That's what she took advantage of. Okay. Play this video.
It's very accusative and very...
All right. Shout out to Law and Crime. This is Sidebar with Jesse Weber.
It's very accusative and very damning to me, to a point that I don't want to talk to anybody and I need to get a lawyer.
That is Alexis Von Yates, the Florida nurse who sexually abused her 15-year-old stepson. Well, now newly released audio gives us a first-hand look at the tense moments when deputies arrested her, and interviews with the boy's father provide details about what he walked in on. We are revisiting this case with some context that the public has never heard before. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
This is the greatest show in the world. Tammy, if you're still here, I think this is going to be what you were talking about earlier. So I think this is it. So. Shout out to Old Glory says, I met a few Alexises in my day. Not one wasn't batshit crazy. You know, Alexises do usually they know how to fight too. Where I'm from, yeah.
Got to talk about this new audio that has come out in a case that we have been following very closely here on Sidebar. And what a case it is. A stepmother who pleaded guilty to sexually abusing her 15-year-old stepson. And what is this new audio? In these recordings, the boy's father describes walking in on a scene that he says left him shocked. It left all of us shocked. And deputies' body cam also captures the very moment that the defendant here, Alexis Von Yates, was arrested. So here's the story. Alexis Von Yates, a 35-year-old registered nurse, was accused of sexual abuse involving her teenage stepson during the summer of 2024. Following an investigation and multiple interviews, she was arrested, and she later faced court proceedings. This new audio does something different. It gives us a first-hand look at this father's account, and again, the tense moments of her arrest. We haven't heard this before. So to give you the full picture, let's just take a quick step back. We're going to recap the case from the beginning. This case starts off in the summer of 2024 in Ocala, Florida. At the center of it all is Alexis Yates, also known as Alexis Von Yates. She was married, she had 2 young children of her own, and she was a stepmother to a 15-year-old boy. That teen came down from Washington, D.C. to stay with his dad, Alexis, and his half-siblings for the summer break last year. And then, according to an arrest affidavit, something truly unthinkable happened. On July 30th, 2024, the Marion County Sheriff's Office got an anonymous tip. A man had allegedly walked in on his own wife, Alexis, and his son, her 15-year-old stepson, having sex. Can you imagine what that must have been like? But when investigators showed up to question Alexis's husband about that shocking allegation, he denied it. Yeah, the body cam footage captured this exchange.
We received a report that something happened when I was at your house between on the 26th between Tristan and your wife.
Okay.
And that you allegedly walked in on them.
No, that's not true.
Okay. So our report came in, sexual battery, that you walked in with them in the middle of sexual acts.
No, that is 100% false.
Okay.
So, I know he's a very messed up kid. I really haven't been a part of his life for very long, but if there's anything like this, I probably should. I don't know.
Yeah. So right now.
Y'all catch what he said? He said he's a messed up kid. Now, I haven't been really a part of his life. I know he's a messed up kid. That was his response.
I don't know.
Yeah. So right now, all that's the only information we have. We don't have anything coming directly from him per se. But it did mention that you walked in on them.
No. That's
Okay.
definitely true.
Okay.
I don't know. Is there anyone I can know who said that? Or?
It's anonymous.
Yeah, it's anonymous, so we don't even know.
The call came in through a line called Crime Stoppers, which is like for anonymous tips. We honestly assumed you made the report or something along those lines, but we don't have any information other than like she was saying that's what the report said.
Okay.
Which is why we're actually at your house right now. You used to live at the.
Yes, sir.
Me and the CPI are currently sitting in your driveway right now. Actually, we were coming to come talk to you and talk to them. But you don't know anything about anything like this.
Now, we wanted to bring this case to you, and the reason that we can do that is because of the support that we get from Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, our sponsor. This is a firm with over 1,000 attorneys. You know why they're so big? Because they win a lot. They have recovered over $25 billion for more than 500,000 clients. Think about that. In the past few months, a client in Florida received $12 million after the insurance company offered just $350,000. Out in Pennsylvania, a client was awarded $26 million. That is 40 times the insurer's $650,000 offer. Another client in Pennsylvania received $29 million after being by clicking the link below or scanning the QR code on screen.
And what's so crazy is they told the father that it was an anonymous call, and it tells you that he's lying because they just said it was anonymous. Why would he immediately attack his own son and say, well, yeah, he's a troubled kid? So why would you assume he called us and told us anything if we're telling you it's anonymous and if nothing actually happened? Why would you assume it was him?
No, and anything I probably wouldn't just say. I know that there are some accusations made. I don't think they're true or not, but
You said there were accusations made?
I believe so.
Who made the accusations?
I believe that.
Made the accusations? Okay.
When did he make those accusations? Prior to this?
No.
Okay, so this is all brand new. So there's nothing prior that he mentioned.
No.
Okay. Okay. But you're thinking it might have come from.
I really honestly have no idea who would have anonymously done something like that. You know, it's a really bizarre, embarrassing scenario that I don't even entertain.
What accusations make?
I'm not sure. I would probably get a lawyer before I said anything else.
Well, you're not under investigation right now. I mean, or no one's really under investigation. It's just a matter of this report came in, and at this point, it's an ominous report. It's going to have to get seen regardless to speak to him, and then once that's done, it's a matter of either determining whether the claims are founded or unfounded. And from what you're saying, it's more than likely unfounded.
I believe so.
Right. I mean, if you don't want to tell me, you don't want to tell me, but it go a long ways as far as helping us figure out if we can write down what I told you, and then we can go to and it says, oh, I didn't make that report, or gives us verbatim what you're telling me he told you. We can kind of rule it out and kind of say, okay, we probably made this report, if you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah, I understand that. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, kind of freaking, my heart's racing a little bit, but I can think that the implications that could come of this, I don't believe that anything happened.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
But the key factor is it mentioned that you walked in on them when they were on the couch.
No, I did not see any type of physical action whatsoever.
So as you just heard, Mr. Yates flatly denied the allegation, calling it 100% false, described his son as troubled with a history of making up, quote, crazy stuff. But the thing is, detectives would later reach out to Yates again after his wife's arrest. And we're going to get to that in a minute. But when investigators first spoke with the teen, what he revealed was chilling. He said his father worked nights as a lineman. So while his dad was gone, Alexis put the younger kids to bed. Then she and this teen would stay up. They would play video games. They would watch a movie and even use her THC vape pen. So at around 1 a.m., the teen said that Alexis started making inappropriate sexual comments, allegedly telling him she was horny, that she hadn't had sex in 2 weeks. He told investigators she'd been making sexual jokes in front of him for about a week already, and he admitted he was infatuated with her. From the affidavit, quote, thinking about all the statements the suspect had made to him about being horny, he decided to ask her if she wanted to cuddle. The suspect stated she thought that might be weird. He lay on top of the suspect as she lay with her head down the armrest of the couch, and she commented something to the effect of, oh, you're just going right for it, huh? The affidavit continues, the suspect and child victim kissed. As the suspect began escalating, the suspect said, oh man, I wish you were 18 because you're not old enough. Now, despite that statement, the boy said things quickly escalated into sexual acts, including intercourse, and then it all blew up. The affidavit says, suddenly the door began to unlock. The front door is directly in front of the couch. The child victim recalled running to the bathroom as his father entered the home, seeing his wife with no bra on and a blanket covering the lower half of her body. The child victim's father saw the child victim running to the bathroom and yelled, what the bleep is going on, as he threw things. The boy said his father yelled at him and his wife ordered his son to pack up and drove.
Hold on. I want to rewind that a little bit.
So he did mildly crash out. Okay. He just didn't mess nobody up.
I don't think. Hold on.
From the affidavit, quote, thinking about all the statements the suspect.
Nah, bro. I'm listening to you. He mildly crashed out. I'm just looking at when you listen to this again. When you listen to this again, because is this the I think this the boy talking, right? When he was telling the story.
It sounded like it.
All right. Oh, all right.
That Alexis started making inappropriate sexual comments, allegedly telling him she was horny, that she hadn't had sex in 2 weeks. He told investigators she'd been making sexual jokes in front of him for about a week already, and he admitted he was infatuated with her. From the affidavit, quote, thinking about all the statements the suspect had made to him about being horny, he decided to ask her if she wanted to cuddle. The suspect stated she thought that might be weird. He lay on top of the suspect as she lay with her head down the armrest of the couch, and she commented something to the effect of, "Oh, you're just going right for it, huh?" The affidavit continues, the suspect and child victim kissed. As the suspect began escalating, the suspect said, "Oh man, I wish you were 18 because you're not old enough." Now, despite that statement, the boy said things quickly escalated into sexual acts, including.
I just wanted to point out the fact that the young man took more accountability than the adults did in this situation. He in no way tried to save himself or anything. And it's just crazy to me.
Yeah, that is pretty wild.
Yeah, man.
Almost like we're in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah. All right.
Intercourse, and then it all blew up. The affidavit says suddenly the door began to unlock. The front door is directly in front of the couch. The child victim recalled running to the bathroom as his father entered the home, seeing his wife with no bra on and a blanket covering the lower half of her body. The child victim's father saw the child victim running to the bathroom and yelled, "What the bleep is going on?" as he threw things. The boy said his father yelled at him, and his wife ordered his son to pack up and drove him to his grandparents' home. On the way, he bought beer, and according to the affidavit, told his son he had ruined his life and never to contact him again. But what happened next made things worse.
That's why he wasn't talking to the sons. Told him, "You ruined my life." And I'm starting to realize I don't think that side of the family, I don't think perhaps he spent that much time with his son over the years. I just feel like he doesn't have a connection with him. And so he's going to choose his wife over the son, and which I don't know why. Anyway,
Or maybe it could be a parental alienation type deal where him, the father, and the boy's mother could have had a bad breakup, and just over the years, him and his son just never really connected like that.
I guess so, but she still slept with somebody that was underage.
That too, no, that too. I'm not tiptoeing past that. That too.
Oh yeah, I know you're not tiptoeing past it. I'm just trying to think. Still, everybody ain't got morals, so never mind. I was gonna say I think your morals or something would kick in, your spiritual beliefs, but everybody ain't got that. So
Well, like it could be one of those situations where like how a lot of men on YouTube, a lot of those red pill guys just kind of be like, if you just kind of be like if the woman take the kid to leave, just kind of wipe your hands of it and just say the hell with it. It could be one of those situations where he probably just had an opportunity to get back into his son's life, and he probably just had the opportunity. He pounced on it, and they were probably reconnecting in that process, and this here just so happened to have happened, and now it's just like damn, bro, you ruined my life, and I'm just gonna buy some beer and drink my sorrows away. We gonna keep this on the hush hush, and I'm gonna just pretend it never happened and just go on with my life.
yeah,
Let her ass go to jail and just ignore it.
nah. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. He's disconnected then from reality. All right.
The affidavit says the teen tried to tell his cousin and his mother about this abuse, but instead, multiple family members allegedly discouraged him. His grandfather allegedly said, "You better not be telling them what happened." The boy told investigators, I realized that my man's man, blue-collar father, seeing what happened to his son, did not face the sexual abuse of his child like a man. According to the affidavit, Alexis even called the boy after this incident and told him she wished his father hadn't caught them. So then you go to November of 2024, and that's when deputies arrested her. When confronted, she refused to talk without a lawyer, but then made unprovoked statements like this one included in the affidavit. Since the Department of Children and Families had closed their case, she was in the clear, saying the incident was so accusatory, attempting to put blame on the child victim. So deputies, they arrive at Alexis's home on November 6, 2024. And what followed was incredibly tense, from her initial confusion to immediately bringing up her lawyer and then to outright refusing to answer questions. And their body cams captured the audio of that exchange.
Yeah, hey, I'm Detective Ofsted with the Sheriff's Office. Are you Alexis?
Yes.
Hey, I was hoping to speak with you.
Okay.
If you have a moment. Are you able to come speak with me?
Oh, my kid's sleeping. I just got woke up and I gotta take him to school like in a little while. What's this about?
Is your husband here?
He works out of town.
Oh, is he out of town right now?
Yeah.
Shoot. Okay.
Why? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm not quite exactly sure, all the details right now, but there was something I was hoping to speak with you about. Someone able to watch the kids maybe while we talk?
Not really. I had my mom watch the kids like Monday, Tuesdays, and I just got off work. I'm a nurse, so I just got off work like last night. So I just was getting my sleep. Does this have to do with? I already have a lawyer. Is this about?
Yeah, it has to do with. I think everybody deserves to give their side of things.
Okay.
Again, that's what I was hoping to speak with you about.
I don't, it's very accusative and very damning to me to a point that I don't want to talk to anybody, and I need a lawyer. And I could give her your number.
So you don't want to talk to me about it?
I don't want to talk to anybody about
this
it.
Deputy's going to place you under arrest for leaving serious battery. We'll figure out something with the kids, okay? And I'll be right back, okay?
Want a man running with different chickens and got hair pops?
Do you have someone that can watch your video?
Can I talk to you? This is just.
You definitely can talk with me, but unfortunately,
But you are going to arrest me today?
as of if you don't want to talk to me, I get that. But with the amount of information I have,
can I please?
So I have quite a few conversations with different people. I have quite a few phone calls that have been recorded.
Nobody was here at all. It was me watching our kids, and a child
like I said, you
made words to me.
There was something you said there, and I want to be sure, okay? Because if you don't want to talk to me without a lawyer, I respect that. But you just told me that you don't want to talk to me without a lawyer, and now you want to.
Because this is just so disruptive to my everyday life, all the way down to my children. I don't want to leave
Absolutely.
my children.
And I'm not here because I think you're a rapist. If I thought you're a rapist, I'd put a warrant out for you, and I wouldn't try to talk to you about it, right? But I have to be really clear before we go any further, because you have said you really don't want to talk to me without a lawyer.
I don't. I just think it's just so. What is going on here is just so it's just so bizarre to me. I can't even.
And that's why I really wanted to hear your side of things. But unfortunately, we can't be getting a lawyer out here right now. So I'm not going to talk to you about it if you don't want to talk to me about a lawyer present. Because we do have that.
So in order to talk to you about it, I have to talk to you without my lawyer.
No. We're just not going to talk about it. Because you said you'd rather have your lawyer present. And I respect that.
So what do we do now then?
We're going to figure out someone that can come watch your kids, but you are going to be placed under arrest right now.
So after she's placed in handcuffs, Yates began to insist that she had already been cleared of what she was being accused of, which was mentioned in the affidavit, and expressing concern over her other young son seeing her in handcuffs.
Can I just ask you what is going to happen now? Because at this point, I truly thought DCF came here and they went through everything with me. And at that time, it was just so embarrassing and unbelievable what was going on. Mm-hmm. And then I received a letter, and they were saying, we are done with your case. We could rest easy.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that those.
Yeah. Give me a moment. I'm going to bring the vehicle closer so you're not seen by
Thank
anything.
you.
Right?
I feel like I'm going to throw up at any moment. This is unbelievable.
I think you have every right to be frustrated.
I'm not frustrated. There's a lot of things. I'm honestly, it's truly unbelievable. I don't know.
I think she thought it was over with because of DCS, but maybe they backed off because technically the child doesn't live with the father. And so they kind of backed out because their hands are tied. And so she's thinking, whoo, we're done with that. And then with the other kids, if the father and the other family members and the grandfather and them are not saying she's any danger to those children, and she just think it's over and done with. She's forgetting that there's a whole nother mother that you did something with her son. Ooh, that man. Can you imagine? She probably had the bubble guts about to poop on her damn self. She thought it was over and done with till them cops come and knock on her door.
I think you have every right to be frustrated.
I'm not frustrated. There's a lot of things. I'm honestly, it's truly unbelievable. I don't know. There's frustration is one with the kid. What has been said, I just can't believe the amount of disadvantage that has been. But what I'm saying is, so I know you guys are different departments.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, they're not law enforcement. They're just a civil entity that has to deal with children,
right,
and families and elderly.
Okay.
And so what we are as a law enforcement agency, so completely different roles. So their role would be to determine, and again, this is just speaking not about your case. This is speaking generally about just how we work. Their role is to, determine if there's dangers to children immediately present, see if there's action that has to be taken, and then to occasionally offer services, right? And then law enforcement, we investigate if there's violations of statute.
Right.
So it's a completely different thing, though. We do often work hand in hand. I can understand why that would be a little confusing. Again, I want to respect your right, and I don't want to talk to you more about this. You keep trying to talk to me about it. I'm not trying to be rude. I just really am trying to respect you. That's all I'm trying to do. I know that this whole process just feels disrespectful, just in general. Being arrested, right? Not being free to leave, being taken somewhere you didn't want to go, having to have someone come here. But it's a process we have to go through. It's not like, everyone wants to be, dragging everybody through all this. It's the process. So I appreciate your patience in the meantime. We can get her back for now, and then
we have Carmen in the moment. Carmen.
Okay, and then is Kiddo asleep in there? Are they going to be all right for now? Is he going to be all right for now?
I don't know. He might even be up looking for me in the house. How old is he? He's almost 4. He's 3.
The last thing I want for him to see is mom in handcuffs.
That's what I'm saying.
So let's get you in the back of the car. He'll probably be okay for 5 minutes or so, right?
I can't just stand here till my mom gets
here. You can. I just don't want him to see. I guess you can just.
I think me here is better than me in a cop car.
Absolutely.
I don't know. The whole thing is just unbelievable. I don't know what to say. I can't.
All we can do is take it one step at a time. I don't want to make this any more difficult for you than it has to be, right? So
now, as I mentioned earlier, detectives speak with the child's father a second time, again, to better understand what had happened that night. And this is what he told them.
Hello, this is Frank.
Hey, Mr. Yates. This is Detective Austin with the Sheriff's Office. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Hey, sorry to bother you. Do you have a moment to talk?
I do.
So I've talked to quite a few people. I think you probably know what I'm calling about.
Yes, sir.
It's my understanding that you, though you weren't wanting to talk about it at the time that the Department of Children and Families came by, you were willing to talk about the incident. Should your son go on record about it? He's gone on record in some detail. I was really hoping that I could, no matter how painful, or difficult it is to talk about, I was wondering if I could speak with you about what happened that night.
So as far as right now, is that like something that's like an official or on the record type thing, or?
What do you mean? Oh, no, I'm not going to like swear you in front of me or anything. I did want to talk about what happened though.
Right. But I mean, is it like a recorded statement or?
I would be documenting what you said for sure.
Right. Yeah, and yeah, sorry I missed your call. I didn't know. I worked a night shift last night. I'm out of town, and I was sleeping. I had my phone on airplane mode. And
great idea.
Obviously woke up to a bunch of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, obviously there's like some serious implications to this.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to say, really.
I mean, all you can say is the truth. I think that is the most important thing.
Right.
I mean, what happened the last night that your son was in your home?
Yo, Prince, I think you're right, man. I think this guy feel like he got this hot nurse wife and he just ain't giving her up for nobody. And he like, man, F that boy and his mama, because they didn't fuck with me before anyway.
Yeah, this has to stem from whatever bad breakup, whatever animosity he has with that boy's mother. It has to stem from that. And like you said, this hot nurse wife that he stumbled upon and married. He doesn't want to lose that.
He
It's a
reminds
combination of the two.
he reminds me of somebody.
Fuck you. Fuck you too. You acting like you ain't black. I'll never be one of you motherfucking.
Diabolical.
Hey man, if you're in the building, man, thumbs up, man. Put me in the algorithm, man. And it's free. It's free. It's free. I don't ask for no money. Just double tap. Yeah. This stuff is just sickening. Just listening to this is sad, man. I'm gonna have to watch me some cartoons or something after this.
Yeah, because this is sickening. Need something to lighten the mood after this. This is sickening.
Oh well. We'll continue down that rabbit hole.
So basically I came home after working a night shift, and I walked in and seen someone in a compromising position, and I did a thing like, definitive, I guess you could say. And she has her story, and yeah, I can't really say. It's just going off of what she said kind of stuff. So,
What did she have clothes on?
at the time, no.
Okay. Was he in the room when you walked in?
Yes.
Did he have clothes on?
Yes.
Fully clothed or?
It happened really quick. I wasn't really, obviously you don't expect to come home to anything like that. But,
Absolutely. No, and I understand for so many reasons why this is such an uncomfortable conversation. The last thing I want to do is, make people uncomfortable. But unfortunately, in situations like this, it's really important.
Right.
And I don't need to tell you that. I know you're a grown man. You understand that.
And so even though this time the father revealed that he did in fact witness something, he kind of keeps his statements vague, remaining seemingly cautious.
She has a lawyer and, is fully aware of the accusations and whatnot. So, I don't know if you can tell me anything as far as what's going on, or
I certainly can tell you a little bit, but I want to make sure I understand. I mean, what is her story that she told you?
basically that she was in a towel, went out to the living room to get her phone late at night, and he had like ripped the towel off of her, and that's when I came inside, all in that small window there, I guess you could say.
Okay, it's my understanding she told some other people a different story. Do you know anything about maybe other statements she would have made?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay. Do you have
the biggest thing is if something is to basically, I don't want to be in a situation where I'm being, I don't know what you would say, accused, or I have 2 small kids. I'm sure you know. If something was to happen to her, I would be the only parent. I don't want to obviously have myself in any type of trouble. I did nothing wrong, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm not investigating you for a crime. I
know, but as far as like not saying something, or I don't know how this all works or anything like that.
Well, if it turns out that, I get down the road and I find out that you've, point blank, intimidated him to not press charges or anything like that, that would be an issue, right? But as far as you not telling me what happened, I mean, though, or at least not wanting to tell me, everything in full detail, I find that a little concerning. But it's not necessarily against the law. I think what's most important for everybody would be to just tell the truth, the full truth from the beginning. Obviously I don't get to the point I'm at without a little bit of evidence.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And so I just really wanted to, hear what you had to say, because I have, a couple conversations where people have told me that you told them that you would be willing to tell the full story, and everything,
Right. And that's the thing too, is I basically told you the full story, as far as what I physically saw, but
it's my understanding there was a little bit more of a conversation that occurred between the two of you that night, where she told you a little bit more than that.
As far as Alexis telling me something?
Yes, during the argument that ensued when you got home.
Right. And that was basically me asking what the hell is going on, and like I said, going back and forth. It's like a he said, she said stuff.
So she didn't apologize.
Like who do you believe at that point, I guess?
So she didn't apologize to you and make statements along the lines of, that she was sorry and that he looks like you?
Oh, God. Is this like public record or?
So, in cases where investigations of sexual, unlawful sexual activity with minors, there's laws protecting, their information from being public record.
I mean, as far as like statements go.
As far as yeah, their information, being involved, and where he's directly involved with the incident, that would be, not public record.
After learning more information, the detective pressed him to provide a full statement, asking about not just what he witnessed, but why he hadn't reported it.
I'm not here to embarrass you.
I think
I think that I can understand why you have cognitive dissonance about this, why losing her would represent a major upset in your life, not just as far as like your emotions, but the kids and everything that represents. But
exactly, and that's the big thing right there. I mean, that's the consequences that's going to have for my small children. So, and that's basically where have been with this whole situation.
But can you at least answer that for me? Did she make statements to that effect?
I really think maybe I should speak with a lawyer or something before
Okay. I mean, you can if you want, but I get the feeling the answer is yes. If you're not telling me no, I just I'm here to try to make sure that the truth is what's recorded.
Right.
I'm not here to humiliate anybody. That's not my intention. I'm not here to ridicule anyone. When she was arrested this morning, she was treated with, all the respect we could give. She wasn't, treated poorly or anything like that. And I don't think going forward, that's how it'll be. But I really would like your full statement, because you are not implicated in a crime. You are just essentially not giving me your witness statement of what you witnessed.
Right.
Which, when it comes to the sexual abuse of a child, is obviously concerning.
Right.
Would you be willing to answer that question for me?
At the time that everything was going on, it was like so late at night, stuff like that. I don't really recall that a specific statement like that being made.
Based off of the way you're kind of answering me, I think you do recall what was said, but I think you don't want to tell me. And I'm not meaning to be super confrontational about it. I just, I've been doing this a long time.
No, I know, and I respect you. I really do. I just, I'm not sure what to do, and the implications of all this. I'm not sure if I should contact a lawyer and talk with them before I say anything, because now I'm getting a feeling that the person who's done nothing wrong is going to be, I don't know what could go wrong here.
Well, I mean,
he really, 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 really wants to hold on to this woman. He can't fathom losing her.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not implicating you in any crime. I just, there were statements made to me like that you had perhaps put in an anonymous tip about this. Is that true?
No, I did not.
You did not?
No, sir.
Why did you not report what you saw?
Like I said, it was like, who do you believe at that point?
Yeah. Yes, but there were more statements she made to you than the ones than the one that you told me. It's less a question of did it happen, and it's more a question of who egged it on.
Right.
Because whether or not it happened is not really in question at this point.
Okay.
So that's why it'd be really important to help me understand where everybody's head was at the time that this occurred. But if you're not wanting to really answer my questions right now, that's not ideal, but it's okay, right? You have freedom of speech. As far as me calling you on the phone right now, and I'm not here trying to ruin your day. I'm just here trying to help your son, who has, nobody really advocating for him. And that's kind of a tough thing to see. But
Yes, sir.
if you change your mind, you'd like to give me a more complete statement, you're more than welcome to. You have my number, okay?
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Yep. And again, I don't want to have ruined your day. Please don't let me have ruined your day. I hope you have a good day, and thank you for the work that you do.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Yep. Bye-bye.
Fuck his day. Hope he had a bad day after that.
Now, detectives end up speaking with the father again on December 3rd, 2024, and this time he spoke much more openly. He first described the unsettling events leading up to the night that he came home, recalling how Alexis went from having a negative attitude toward his son to suddenly wanting him around a lot more.
One thing I wanted to point out was before this had happened, she had a very...
Didn't I tell you there's some jealousy there? I'm telling you, look, I'm not gonna be too hard. He probably had a lot on his mind that he had to work through. But I knew it had to be some jealousy. I knew some jealousy there. She wanted that boy around. Like a younger
if there was a negative attitude before and then started wanting them around a little more, I'm starting to believe that maybe this wasn't their first time doing this.
What you mean? Oh, maybe she slept with the boy, or at least some touching.
Yeah. Maybe some touching, maybe some kissing prior, but this was just their time getting caught.
Probably
And maybe the young man is just covering his tracks, crossing his T's and dotting his I's.
Yeah, but he's still a victim.
Yeah, no, he's definitely still a victim. I mean, he's underage. She's a grown woman. There is no pussyfooting around it. She's wrong. But this might not be their first time doing this.
Yeah, yeah. At least it had to be some light touching or something like that. That's probably happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you don't just go from, not wanting them around to just, wanting them around overnight like that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you in jail because y'all done had full blown intercourse overnight. That's weird.
It is.
Y'all been doing stuff.
Shout out to Jimmy. Jimmy Wood says women are just as dangerous as men these days. Every time it's a school now, it's a lady teacher, and some of them very hot married. Yeah, a lot of the teachers, them women teachers, been getting caught up. A lot of them. Yeah.
One thing I wanted to point out was before this had happened, she had a very negative attitude towards him. Very basically didn't want him to be here. When we would talk about him coming down, it was, can he be here for a week? Can he be here for 2 weeks? Not 3 weeks or a month, or not for the whole summer. Of course, that was like off the table once again. And then, so he was here for, I think, about 3 weeks. He was supposed to go home. She was basically wanting him to stay another week longer, which I thought was very odd. There was a lot of things that I thought that was very odd in that last week, as far as all of a sudden how she flipped a switch to like how she viewed him and what was going on. I had an uncomfortable feeling in my gut about it. So did other people.
The father described what he says was a shocking scene when he came home, detailing the moment he discovered his own son and wife in a sexual situation.
It's the handle. I walk in and I look over to my left and I see her sitting down. Her boobs are out. She's naked. and he was standing up basically in a position where it looked like his waist level was at her head level. So I think she was performing oral sex when I walked in the door.
Were you able to see like his?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
Obviously you're not walking in the door like.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So, and then he immediately, what I think has happened is he pulled up his pants. It kind of looked like he pulled up his pants a little bit and he had jetted off to the bathroom. I go over to her and I'm immediately like, obviously I see her breasts are out and I'm like, what the going on? I'd say that probably 20 different times. Like, what the is going on? She has this stupid expression on her face, just like a bewildered expression on her face. Doesn't say anything the entire time this is going on. She has a blanket over top of her lap. I go over there and I'm basically like, surely to God she's not naked. And so I walk over to her. Still, she's not saying anything. Bewildered look on her face. I snatch the blanket off of her lap and she is butt ass. At that point, I'm like, just shocked. I know basically that something's been going on. So he comes out of the bathroom at this point. We're talking about stuff that's going on. I don't think she was really saying anything. And I said, I don't need you to come outside with me right now. My son, I'm like, I bring him out there and I'm basically like, please, God, like, tell me exactly what's going on, exactly what happened, because I want to know everything that happened. And he proceeded to tell me that they had both had oral sex on each other. I felt like he was still hiding stuff. At that point, she's kind of coming back and forth outside the house to talk to me. And, I'm obviously not wanting anything to do with her. And then the one thing that like struck me the most when this was all happening was she tried to come out there and basically say that it wasn't as bad as it looked, and I looked her right in her eye. I said, "You," and she looked right at me and like said, "Oh, I forgot you knew that." Was exactly what she said. Then I took him to my dad's house, and it's just been a huge ordeal ever since. Which I regret the fact that I didn't just call the cops immediately.
And the father said that Alexis tried to excuse her actions as just a loss of control. He says he didn't believe her.
She tries to act like she had just, lost control and blacked out or didn't know what was going on. And I'm like, you weren't even drinking, first of all. You're stone cold sober. There's so many details leading up to that night. It's just, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Basically her attitude and everything that since this has happened, I'm just like, I'm done with trying to, I don't want to say like protect her, but I'm done like with the whole situation. I just wanted to get in it.
Well, and all that should happen, right, is that the truth should come out. And that's what's going to allow everyone to move on. Everyone tells the truth, and then we can move on, right? Whatever that's going to entail, we'll get through that, and then life will continue. Now, did you have further conversations with her about it? Did she admit to anything beyond the oral to you?
No, she did not. I don't believe her at all. Just my gut feeling, like I said again, I think that they had sex. But no, she would never admit that to me.
Did she make any statements to you about why it happened?
Yeah. She said multiple times she's told me how much he looked at me.
Just generally or specifically?
No, what she had told me was that it was kind of dark and that he looked so much like you.
Okay.
Type of thing. I know what she said to the other girls.
Okay, but she never made any comments about his anatomy or anything like that.
No, not to me.
Okay.
Obviously, I had heard what she had told the other girls, had confronted her about that many times, and she basically said, which I already knew, she wasn't doing it in like a braggadocious way. She was doing it in a way that was trying to defend her actions and what she did.
Mm-hmm.
The things he was saying, the size of his blah blah blah, you know. Like basically like he seemed older and more mature than he was.
So what happened? Well, Alexis Von Yates was originally charged with lewd or lascivious battery, but then prosecutors upgraded that charge to sexual battery by a person in familial custody. That's a first-degree felony carrying up to life in prison. The fallout didn't stop there, though, because in April of 2025, the Florida Department of Health suspended her nursing license. In their words, Miss Yates' decision to engage in sexual activity with a minor child and or her decision to allow a child to engage her in oral and penetrative sex indicates that she lacks the good judgment and moral character necessary to be a registered nurse. Therefore, Miss Yates' continued practice as a nurse presents a risk of immediate, serious danger to the health, safety, and welfare of the public. And then came the official sentencing. So instead of heading to trial on September 16th, 2025, Alexis Von Yates stood in court and agreed to a plea deal. She avoided a life sentence. She pleaded guilty to that lesser charge, lewd or lascivious battery on a child aged 12 to 16. And her sentence, 2 years in state prison, 10 years probation, 200 hours of community service with Marion County Solid Waste Litter Control. She has to register as a sex offender, no contact with the victim during her entire sentence. The judge said he signed off on the plea in part to spare the victim from having to testify in open court, writing that forcing him to recount these traumatic details in front of a jury would cause, quote, undue re-traumatization.
Well, I tell you, that's the excuse. That boy didn't care about telling that story. He told the police, yeah. She was in there. That's crazy. You walk in and catch her with your son's member in her mouth. That's crazy. Look, I can't even say what I would have did.
I can tell you what I would have did. Man, that TV was coming off that wall. I'm telling you, that lamp was coming towards you. That TV probably coming off that wall. Say, brother, first thing, probably gonna have a fist coming at you, 30,
I'd have
40
been just
miles an
like
hour.
I'd have been just like, well, house party time to kick some fucking ass.
Man, say, bro, I would have had them cuffs slapped on me with a smile.
Whoop that trick.
I would have screamed that junk out to all the neighbors. Don't worry, y'all, it's justified. It was justified. She deserved it. She definitely deserved it.
Even Buddy, who walked in when this girl was doing the prank on him, he was coming in the house with the water, and she pretended like she was giving the dude head on the sofa, and he threw the water, the whole 32 pack of water, he threw it across the room, cracked in the back with it.
Yeah, I saw that one. I saw that. I was laughing down too.
Yeah, man. This is insane.
Fuck you. Fuck you too. You acting like you ain't black. I'll never be one of you motherfucking.
Crazy.
The victim's mother told the court that Alexis was a coward and an incestuous pedophile. She also said her son's relationship with his father has been destroyed, claiming the two haven't spoken since all this happened. Alexis Von Yates, once a trusted nurse, she is now a convicted sex offender, serving prison time, stripped of her license, her career,
Yeah. I told you, like, the mug shots don't do him justice, but just in regular life, to a young guy, she's going to be enticing.
And according to her own family members, her integrity. That's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar, everybody.
So for her that, like, he the one, she was the one chasing him down and doing all that stuff, man. But she tried to paint it like he was the predator. I'm like, what the hell?
I wonder what made the father just kind of say to hell with it and just come out and tell the story.
Time to sit and think with himself. Time to sit and just think with himself, man, and come to grips with it. It was weird too because the boy said even the grandfather told him he shouldn't say nothing, but the grandfather coming from the old school, the double standards, and how it affects everyone. He probably like, boy, shut up, boy. Don't tell nobody that woman done gave you some cootie cat. You boy, shut up. Don't tell no damn body about
Yes,
that.
yeah, yeah. Grandpa OG, yeah, he not gonna say nothing. Grandpa OG.
Yeah. So that brings so we gotta address the elephant in the room. So we did the motive. The motive was her authority. Marriage probably not going how she wanted to go. A younger man that looks like the older man when he was younger that she's currently married to. So let's address the elephant in the room. If Alexis Von Yates were a man and the victim a 15-year-old girl, this case would have dominated headlines. But when the predator is female, society hesitates. We joke, we minimize. We ask if the boy wanted it. The double standard is dangerous. It silences male victims, it protects female offenders, and it perpetuates the myth that women can't be predators. Let me be clear, abuse is abuse, and when we let gender distort our outrage, we fail every victim who doesn't fit the mold. Beyond this, I mean, she wanted sex. And she kind of ruined her life still, even though I think she should have got more time. She lost her nursing license. Her husband reportedly hasn't spoken to his son since the incident. So she's ruined their lives. The victim's mother called her incestuous pedophile in court. And that's what she's going to be known as. Unless she moves somewhere else. But I think she'll be okay. I think she'll move somewhere else and they'll forget about this and sweep this under the rug. I don't know about you think there's any long-term damage to a young 15-year-old boy? Like how would it affect him? Well, I know it is, but how do you think it would affect him over time? Because he's got to live with the fact that him and his father never have a relationship over some older woman, his father's wife of all people, who took advantage of him.
Personally, I think it's affecting him now. I think once he gets older, he'll be able to process it a lot better, and hopefully be able to verbalize it, be able to verbalize his pain and his worry, and be able to hopefully be able to talk to his father when he gets older. He's 15, well 16 now, I'm assuming,
Yeah.
and so by the time he's 18, 19, 20, maybe he'll be able to talk a lot better. Maybe he'll be able to verbalize his feelings, his emotions a lot better, and maybe he'll be able to talk to his father. And maybe his father is of age, so I don't know why his father wouldn't be able to be receptive of his son coming to him and telling him, "Dad, look, um, I'm sorry how this happened, but at the end of the day, if you look at it, you're my dad, I'm your son. You let some cat come between us. I mean, if we're going to put it blunt, you let some cat come between us. So hopefully his father could be receptive of that, because at the end of the day, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Hmm. I just hope the dad make the first step. I don't want him to have to do that.
He should. Absolutely, I agree with you. He should. The father should be able to make the first step. But just looking at how long it took him to fight and even come out with the truth behind the story, he probably won't.
Yeah.
I mean, pride is a man's pride could be deadly.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Absolutely.
see that every day. A man's pride is deadly.
Yeah. Man. All right. I think that was perfect with this. I'm gonna give my final thoughts. I'm gonna get me something to eat. I want to appreciate everybody came through. Everybody thumbs up, like the video, and subscribe to it. I appreciate you all. Shout out to my guys, man, my brothers, the Prince of Petty and Mr. Marcus Banks himself, and everyone else that came through. Whew. I am drained after this story. It just perfectly lined up with what happened with Diddy, with them both being sentenced around the same time and stuff, and it's just insane to me. So I just want to talk about double standards. This case isn't just about Alexis Von Yates. It's about every boy who's told he can't be a victim. Every woman who abuses and hides behind society's blind spot, and every system that fails to protect children because the predator doesn't fit the stereotype. Solutions to consider: normalize conversations about male victims. Train educators and counselors to spot grooming, regardless of gender. And that's my that's one of them ones right there for real. I think people recognize it when it comes to little girls. I don't think they pay attention when it comes to younger men. Hold female offenders fully accountable. Stop romanticizing abuse when the victim is male. Now, predators come in all forms, and justice should too. Thanks for listening to Risky Behavior ENT. I'm your humble host, Mr. Diabolical. We got the Prince of Petty. I want to tell you, stay aware, stay bold, and never let silence protect the guilty. Also, man, I gotta put the link in the description, but if you go to my community tab, you'll see as far as protecting children goes, go check out the video Prince of Petty he uploaded. What was the young girl's name? Let me go.
Nia Williams was
Nia
my latest
Williams.
video.
Yeah, Nia Williams and stuff. I'm gonna include that one in the description of this video for people to check out. But I did post it on my community tab, so it'll be over there and pop up. And I'll put the Prince of Petty information in the description as well.
Yeah, I saw that. I appreciate that, big brother. People need to learn about. People need to always learn to remember these children and always protect children because they are the least protected among society.
Yeah. Oh, I see you, Mr. Marcus. I didn't know you had left. Come back. All right, brother. Yeah, we about to end it. I might. Well, I don't know. I'll probably record something for tomorrow, and later on, probably. I might come back if I got time. If I ain't sleepy. But I already know I'm gonna get some food. I'm gonna eat, and I'm gonna watch a movie. And I probably won't come back if I get caught up watching the Twilight Zone. You know they put them episodes on Amazon now. Why do they do that? And I've watched all of them, and I'm gonna watch them again. Same way with Star Trek. So.
I started watching Ballerina.
All right, y'all. I'm about to head out. What'd you say?
I
Ballerina.
started
I haven't
watching
watched that.
Ballerina from John Wick. It's like my second or third time watching it. I done seen all the John Wick movies probably like 17 times each. I'm addicted.
And so, what ballerina is something that's from that series, that universe?
Yeah, it takes place during that universe. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, I'm gonna check
Yeah,
that one out.
if you're into John Wick, basically she's just a female John Wick. She's a female assassin in that universe.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I'm gonna check that out for sure. I like movies like that. Yeah. All right, brother.
Yep, I'll be around then, bro, if you come back on, man.
All right, cool. All right, everybody. Peace. It's been Risky Behavior and the Prince of Petty. We'll catch y'all later.
Holla.
Risky behavior.